Welcome to Country Cookin'. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we'll be making maple mustard glazed chicken, white and wild rice pilaf, feta cheese salad, and Snickers pie. So let's get started. We'll begin with the white and wild rice pilaf, and we're going to, I've got a large skillet, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil in the skillet. I always kind of swirl it around to kind of coat the pan. And then we're going to throw in a cup of celery that is chopped finely. Same thing, cup of carrots that has been finely chopped. And a cup of onions that is also finely chopped. And we're going to get that going. Kind of swish it around so it gets a little bit of the olive oil coating it. And then once this gets just a little bit tender, we're going to stir in our wild rice. And wild rice, if you're not used to cooking it, the raw wild rice, it takes a little longer, so we're going to start with that. But we'll give our vegetables a few minutes to crisp up, and in the meantime then we'll start on the chicken. The first time I had maple chicken was in a restaurant in Rochester, and it has it had a really nice flavor, but then I found a recipe that uses a little mustard and it cuts down a little bit of the sweet, so I think you'll like this recipe real well. Remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have internet, give the girls a call and they'll get you a copy. Okay, we've got another skillet, and we're going to put some olive oil in that. Coat your bottom of your pan. I've got 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. We're going to salt and pepper them and get them browning in the olive oil. These are pretty thick chicken breasts. It might take a little longer than normal, but we'll just keep an eye on them. And a lot of times when you've got that big of a chicken breast, you can feed probably, 2 people with one, or slice them and let people take how much they want. Okay, let me get that going, and then we're going to press in 2 cloves of garlic into our vegetables. If you don't have fresh garlic, go ahead and use the garlic in a jar. And if you don't even have that, you can use garlic powder. I just like to use fresh garlic when it's available. Okay, we're going to put the wild rice in. This is a half cup of wild rice that we're going to sprinkle around in here, and then we're going to add 3½ cups of either vegetable stock or chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock because I just feel like it gives a better flavor, and it's going to kind of marry with your chicken dish that we're making. So we'll let that come to a boil, and then we'll cover it and let it cook for about 20 minutes. Okay. We can get started with the salad. I have some fresh baby greens that I've washed and gone through, and make sure that you've removed any stems. I know this past weekend I I was visiting a girlfriend in Rapid City, and we ate at a really nice restaurant, and I had a spinach salad, and they did not remove the stems, and as you know, I always tell you, remove the stems. They're hard to chew and they're hard to swallow, so make sure you do that. Now, this salad uses a medium cucumber sliced, and I've got them sliced nice and thin. I've washed the cucumber. And this time of the year, hopefully you've got cucumbers in your garden or your neighbor has shared. This is a medium cucumber. Kind of mix it around in. Okay, I've got 3 hard-cooked eggs. I like to use an egg slicer. Let's check that. An egg slicer like this, and then you've got the nice round rings. This is a nice salad for this time of the year too, because it kind of reflects gardens and freshness and a blend of flavors. We've got some radishes that I've sliced about a 1/3 cup, if you know, more or less. Okay, we've got green onions. This is about a 1/4 cup or so. And this salad calls for pine nuts. Sometimes pine nuts are hard to find. I usually pick them up whenever I see them and just keep them in my refrigerator. And these are toasted. To toast your pine nuts, you just use a dry skillet on the stove, and you put the pine nuts in. This is a 1/3 cup. You put them in there, and then for about 7 or 8 minutes, you just kind of stir them around. They don't need any oil or anything. And these are going to give you kind of a little bit of a nutty flavor. And then this salad also calls for currants, which is the same family as raisins. You can use regular raisins, you can use golden raisins. Currants are actually hard to find, but this will give you essentially will give you the flavor that you want. Okay, and then there's going to be feta cheese in our dressing, but they also tell you to put about 1 ounce of feta cheese just sprinkled over the top. Okay, so it's looking like this. I'm going to check the chicken breasts, see how they're doing. Good. Okay, we're going to take a little break while I clean up. We'll be right back, and then we'll make the salad dressing.
As the demand for advanced broadband and cloud-based services continues to grow, so does our commitment to you, our members. We are committed to providing you with the newest technologies and fastest broadband speeds available anywhere. Watch for the exciting details on faster speeds and new broadband packages coming soon.
Okay, we're going to make the salad dressing. I've got a clove of garlic. It calls for a 1/2 clove, but this one's a small one, so we're gonna just throw it in. And we've got mayonnaise. I use Hellmann's. You can use fat-free or low-fat or whatever if you like, but I'm using regular. And we need a 1/2 cup. Okay. Use some sour cream here again. You can use regular sour cream or you can use reduced fat. Just kind of stir it up. If it starts to separate, give it a stir. Now we're going to add the lemon juice, a teaspoon. I'm using real lemon today. You can use an actual lemon if you have one on hand. Sometimes this is just easier. An ounce of feta cheese. It's a little bit more, but I like things cheesy. A tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. We need some freshly ground pepper. If you don't have freshly ground pepper, I actually buy restaurant grade pepper. That's a little more coarse than pepper that you just buy in the store. So we're going to just sprinkle in a little bit of that. And I'm going to get my whisk out and really whip it up well. Okay, we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for a little bit until we're ready to use it. And we'll go over and check and see how our rice is doing. The wild rice is just starting to plump, so we're going to need a little more time. Give it a stir. Chicken breasts are browning nicely, but because they're so thick, I'm going to give them just a little more time. Okay, now remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website. If you don't have internet, give the girls a call. They'll be happy to help you out. We're going to take a break while I do a little cleaning up, and we'll be right back.
Get 3 months free access on all lines, plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, we're going to keep going here. We've got the rice is starting to tender up, so we're going to pour in our 1 cup of white rice and stir that in. And cover that and let that cook. And I'm going to remove the chicken breasts to a plate, and we'll start working on our sauce. Okay, to the drippings then, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And let that kind of loosen that up. Okay. And we need a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Two cloves of garlic. They say to slice them. I'm going to mince them because I think that it gets finer, and you don't get that big chunk of garlic in your mouth when you're eating. Okay. And then I need some thyme. I don't have fresh thyme right now, and fresh thyme you don't use as much. It calls for 2 teaspoons, so we're going to just put 1 teaspoon of ground thyme in there. Okay. While I'm cooking this, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Okay, we're ready to add our tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And a tablespoon of like a coarse ground mustard, whole grain, coarse ground. All right, looks like the sauce is ready. We're going to return the chicken to the pan. And now you want to take a spoon and spoon a little bit of the sauce over the top of the chicken breast. And now we're going to put it in the oven. I've got it preheated at 400. We'll put it in the oven and let it bake for 20 minutes. Now, if your rice looks like it's getting a little bit dry, add a little bit of chicken broth or water and then stir it in and put your lid back on so that the rice plumps up. Okay, now we're going to make the Snickers pie. This is an easy dessert and it is wonderful. I've got a brick of softened cream cheese and we're going to beat it until it's fluffy. Okay, I'm going to add a cup of pre-sifted powdered sugar. I have a half cup of peanut butter. You can use chunky or creamy. I am using creamy. Okay, now we're going to fold in our Cool Whip. What I like to do when I'm using Cool Whip is you open up the container and it looks like this. Give it a stir before you start using it. Just kind of blend it all in together like that. And that would be the same way if you're just serving the Cool Whip. You always want to give it a little bit of a stir. This is an 8-ounce container. Work my sides down a little bit there. Okay, now we're going to, I have pre-chopped some Snickers bars. What I did was I bought a pack of the snack size Snickers and chopped the whole thing up. That's about what it takes. It takes about 1 3/4 cups, a little more if you like a little more. So to the pie right now we're going to add about 2/3 cup of the Snickers. And we're just going to fold that in. And we're going to pour it into a pie. I made my own graham cracker crust. You can buy them. On the recipes, I've given you a recipe for the pie crust. So whatever you'd like to do, but the recipe actually sometimes makes enough for 2. So I'll put it in the oven, bake it for 7 minutes, and then I freeze it, and then I've got it when I want it. So you can see how easy and fast this pie is to make. And it's nice for summertime because it doesn't take a lot of oven time. Spread it in your crust. And then we're going to sprinkle the rest of the Snickers on top. I get a little sticky. I imagine if you could probably do this with any kind of, you could do it with Butterfinger or something else if you'd rather. This just happens to call for the Snickers, and probably do it with Heath. There we go. We're going to put that in the refrigerator to chill, and we've got our dessert ready.
Valley's Mobile Command Center is coming to a town near you. Stop in at Valley's Mobile Command Center to learn more about our services, see and test some of our products, ask questions, or just to visit with us. Make sure to check your newsletter for specific dates and times when we will be rolling into your town.
Valley Telecommunications, the home Team Advantage.
Everything's just about done. The rice pilaf, the rice is tender and everything. I'm going to sprinkle, this is some fresh parsley that I have in my herb garden. Just sprinkle that over the top. Now this recipe doesn't call for any seasoning, and it is good without it. Me, I'm kind of a seasoning kind of a gal, so I have just these inexpensive little pepper grinder and sea salt grinder. I'm just going to give it just a little bit of a few twists just to enhance the flavor. Salt always, if you don't overdo it, it'll enhance your flavor. And then this is a peppercorn medley, and that will kind of enhance the look too. Okay. We're going to put this in a serving dish. Out some serving utensils. Get the chicken out. Now, if I were going to serve this dish to pass on a table, I would use a couple sprigs of parsley or something like that on it. So we'll cut our pie. You can toss the salad if you're going to be using it all at one time, or you can just do, pass the dressing, give it a dollop in the middle, and you're all set. We've got our mustard maple glazed chicken, we've got our feta salad, our wild rice and white rice pilaf, and our Snickers pie. Thanks for joining us today on this edition of Country Cooking, and we'll see you next time.